scholars? Welcome to Chase Game Part 2. Today we're going to add on to our Chase game, specifically add a variable. So, um, and a variable, it's simply a computer science concept that can be used to track information. With that being said, let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is quickly review what we did. Last time we met, we created two different sprites. We have the rocket ship that can be controlled with the right arrow, left arrow, up arrow, and down arrow, along with the star that's going to glide random positions across the screen. And the idea is that the rocket ship, in this case, will be chasing the star. And again, in your version, you probably have different sprites, which is perfectly fine. But let's run it real quick so we quickly review what we can do here. So as you can see, the star is moving around, and I can control the rocket ship with the keyboard arrow keys. All right, so what we're gonna do today is add some more functionality to this game, and we're gonna start with creating a variable. We're gonna go under the variable code category, and we're going to click on make a variable. We're going to call this count. Actually, let's call this score, and the score is going to be updated every time, in my case, the spaceship touches the star. And down here, we're going to choose for all sprites. This allows us to add code to our variable within any sprite. If we only choose for this sprite only, then we can only do that for the star, but let's use for all sprites. And as you can see up here, we have the score value, which is set to 0 automatically. The next thing we want to do is also bring this over. This is to set the score to 0. And then we're going to also change my variable, which is score, which is up here, to 1. And then we're going to update this every time the spaceship touches the star. So we're going to start with an event, and then we're going to use an if statement. An if statement is used to make decisions based on a condition, and the condition is that if the spaceship is touching the star or the star is touching the spaceship, then we're going to change the score value by 1. And we can find that under sensing, and we're going to pull over this or bring this touching mouse pointer over, but we're going to change the drop down to if it's touching the rocket ship. Since we're working with the sprite here, if the star is touching the rocket ship, then we're going to change the value by 1. And then we're also going to use that at the very top, set the score to 0. So whenever we start the program again by pressing the green flag, it'll reset it to 0. So let's try it. And we see that nothing happened when the star touched the spaceship. And the reason for that is as soon as we run our code, it's going to run this once, and it won't check again. So if we want to continuously check as we're playing the game, we need a forever loop, and that'll correct the issue. And as you can see, now we have it updating very, very quickly. So we also need to fix that. So let's stop the game. And the way we do that is we're going to have to add a wait function here. If the rocket ship is touching the star, or if the star is touching the rocket ship, we're going to update it by 1 and then wait 1 second for the star to move to a different location. And that seems to have fixed it. Very good. So what we're going to do now is quickly just annotate or add comments to this code. So the first thing we're going to do is add a comment here, and I want you guys to do this as well. This resets the score variable to 0. The forever loop is going to continually check if the star is touching the rocket ship. And the if statement is checking for this condition. Is the star touching the rocket ship? Okay. And if it's true, we're going to update the value of the score variable by 1. And then wait 1 second before updating the value again. And that prevents from the variable updating too quickly. And there we have it. We're going to continue to build out this game, but this is part 2. Thank you for your hard work and dedication, and I look forward to seeing what you guys add on to your game. Thanks.